Very much, Paul, for the intro. And I want to reiterate that welcome again for this evening's training. As always, it's my pleasure to spend this time with you to share information about our products. I hope that the month is going on well for you, but as Paul said, we still have a little time to keep our shoulder to the wheel and keep on pushing till the last moments of the last day of the month of September. Very welcome for those of you who are new. Maybe you have joined us this month. I want to welcome you and encourage you to keep on learning in our business. We are all always learning because each distributor is a unique unit, and each of us with what we have can go out and do something different. Although our goals are all the same, the way in which we approach them and the way we go about achieving them will not be identical. On my part, it's always my hope that the sessions that we give are of good use to you on a personal level, as well as a distributor and as a family person and a community person. So as you might have seen from your invite for today, my session is about eye health. And I always appreciate the person who requested that we should include this in our training schedule, because it's actually one that I had not thought about. And it's a very important organ, the eye, even though it is small, and we should take care of it because it plays a very important role in our lives. Just to introduce it, the eye is part of the brain tissue. It's made of the same tissue as the brain, and it's directly connected to the brain through the optic nerve, which is a nerve that carries the information from our eyes into our brain. Our eyes will not play an important role in collecting information from our environment. Whenever we are looking out, we see many, many things, and our eyes are able to collect that information and transmit it to our brain, where it can be interpreted and be put to different kinds of use. Also, we use our eyes for other things. For example, non-verbal communication. We know that by looking at a person's eye, we can tell, maybe get some knowledge about their emotional situation, about their health and things like that. So the eyes are very, very important. And so taking good care of them and being informed about how to do so is, I think, an essential part of educating ourselves as Neolife distributors. So as always, with all our bodily organs, good nutrition plays an important role in helping us to maintain and prolong good eyesight, as well as in slowing down the age-related eye problems that we can develop. These usually start as we hit middle age, maybe post 40, going to 50s. We start noticing maybe that certain problems start developing with our eyes. But by taking good care of them through our nutrition and a few other pointers that we're going to talk about, we may be able to sustain good eyesight well into the years. So the first item I have in my list is healthy fats. And the reason why I start with healthy fats is because many of the nutrients that are useful for protecting and prolonging good eyesight are fat-soluble nutrients. For example, we know our famous carotenoid complex made of the carotenoid vegetables and fruits. The carotenoid phytonutrients that are found in our vegetables and fruits are actually fat soluble, which means that they are better absorbed when we have them in a fatty environment. And for this reason, it does not mean that we just get any kind of fat, but of course the healthy fats, of which we've got a number of examples. For example, we've got something like olive oil, we've got things like ghee, coconut oil, and so on. These are good fats. Avocado oil. These are good fats that will play an important role in enhancing the absorption and storage of the nutrients that help to take care of our eye health. So then we go on to my next point, which is about, I want to bring about up 2 points which lead to problems with our eyesight. The first one being diabetes. I think every maybe 2 or 3 weeks, diabetes always comes up. And this is because this is an ever-growing problem with our health, especially here on our continent. I think I must have mentioned previously that we of the African race and people also of the Asian races tend to be more susceptible to the development of diabetes, which means we need to be even more careful than our Caucasian brothers and sisters. And the reason why I'm bringing up diabetes is because one of its adverse effects, side effects, is damage to the retina. The retina is a part of the eye that has got photosensitive cells, the cells that actually are light sensitive, because these are the cells that receive the light and form images for us. So if our retina is damaged, then of course it means that our eyes are going to function poorly. And with time, in fact, it can even lead to blindness. We know that there's certain kinds of blindness that originate from diabetes. So for this reason, we need to be careful about resolving any sugar metabolism problems that we might have. Maybe we are still in the early stages that is called prediabetes, or we are already in full-blown diabetes. We know that Neolife has got supplements to help us to deal with the problems of diabetes. And so we should not wait and be content with maybe just going to the doctor and receiving our insulin and so on. The important thing is to help the body to metabolize sugar better and to reduce the amount of refined carbohydrates and sugar in our diet so that our bodies are better able to cope. And in this way, we would also protect our eyesight from the problems, the eye problems that result from diabetes and pre-diabetes. We find that apart from damaging the photosensitive cells in our eye, diabetes is also connected to an illness called glaucoma, which is caused by a buildup of fluid in the eyes. I'll come back to that just now, but just to reiterate that diabetes, we sometimes just think of it as a problem with sugar metabolism, but just to remember that it does a lot of other damage to our tissues, of which the eyes are just one. And as we've seen, the eye plays a very important role. And if we might be a bit relaxed about doing something about the diabetes, we should be urged to act even more vigorously and faster in order to avoid the downstream problems that will result from unresolved diabetes. Then the other illness that I want to mention here is high blood pressure. So high blood pressure is another illness that leads to deterioration of our eyesight. And this is because when blood pressure is abnormally high, there'll be damage to some, maybe microscopic damage to blood vessels. And this will lead to leakage of blood from the damaged blood vessels. And when this happens in the eye, once again, it is going to lead to the destruction or damage of our light-sensitive cells in the retina, and will also be linked to fluid buildup in the eyes. And so that is one way in which high blood pressure can affect our eyesight. Another thing is that if there is damage to our blood vessels in the eye, we may have a reduced blood flow to the optic nerve. And this can lead to damage to the nerve itself. And remember, the optic nerve is the one that carries the information we receive in our eyes to the brain, where it is interpreted as information that we can make sense out of. So the preservation of the optic nerve is also an important part of taking care of our eyes. Then, so if we don't resolve our high blood pressure, we may find that that is one of the things that happen, that we start having eye problems like blurred vision, like maybe we have eye strain, or we are not able to focus our eyes as initially we were able to. In addition to that, we know that high blood pressure may lead to something like a stroke. And since we've said the eyes and the brains are in very close association with each other, if we have a stroke, then there may be damage not only to the brain, but also to the eyes or to the nerve, the eye nerve, the optic nerve. So for that reason, again, high blood pressure is an illness that we should actually resolve. And once again, in Neolife, we've got a combination of supplements that will help us in resolving high blood pressure, and to just remind ourselves not to be content with just taking the medication. Remember this, for example, high blood pressure and diabetes are both lifestyle-related illnesses, which means that they come as a result of our lifestyle, and the best way to resolve them and cure them is by making lifestyle changes. So for that reason, if we are looking at someone with the diabetes or pre-diabetes, we should recommend for them botanical balance. We should recommend for them fiber tablets or the fiber blend. And we also should recommend 3NN. For someone who has high blood pressure, we should recommend for them lipotropic adjunct. We should recommend omega-3 salmon oil. And then we can also add other products to help with their eyesight. So just to encourage ourselves to give people this information, because sometimes people do get comfortable with just taking their regular doses of diabetes medication or blood pressure medication, not realizing that the illness could actually be continuing to damage their body and their organs. Then the next point I want to bring up is eye strain. As we know, we use our eyes a lot, and in recent times, we do a lot of work on screens, and a lot of communication takes place through screens. So we could spend prolonged periods staring at screens, and this can cause a strain on our eyes and may make the muscles that control our eyes and our vision to start having spasms and to become less and less flexible. So for this reason, it is important to develop the habit of relaxing the eyes by every 20 minutes. For instance, if you're a person who works with a computer and staring or reading on the screen for long periods, every 20 minutes to take a break and focus your eyes away from the screen and maybe move your eyes from side to side and so on, so that the muscle is not continuously tensed in the same way. By taking these breaks every 20 minutes, just for a few, maybe half a minute or so, you help your eye muscles to relax and then go back to working again. This is because prolonged eye strain can lead to a deterioration of the eyesight. And also another thing we can do is to filter out the blue light from our screens, because the blue light can also be too much for our eyes if we spend long periods looking at a screen, whether it be our phones or our iPads or laptops or other types of screens. So to have these days, many of the screens have got that ability to filter out the blue lights. In addition to that, if we are going to spend long periods in the sun, maybe you're on holiday and you're on the beach, you can use a broad-brimmed hat to prevent being in glaring sunlight for long periods. Or maybe if we have to work or walk for long periods in the sun, we can use a broad-brimmed hat to prevent too much glare into our eyes. Because although sunlight is good for our eyesight, too much of the glare can cause strain on our eyes. Then the last point I wanted to make is, of course, we should have a habit of protecting our eyes from physical injuries. So for example, if you're a person who likes to do some DIY projects, or you've got the kind of job where you might have some risk to your eyes, you should try to make sure that you always use protection, if it is goggles or something like that. Or if maybe sometimes you may find it necessary to use dark glasses for protection for your eyes. So those are the points I wanted to bring up on the lifestyle side of protecting our eyes and being aware of things that may harm our eyesight. And then now I want to turn my attention to the Neolife products that we recommend for eye health. As I said, I say quite often, the supplements are there to supplement what we are already doing. So the first product I have here is omega-3 salmon oil, which helps to prevent inflammation and dry eyes. Dry eyes contribute to deterioration in good eyesight, and it can also cause the eyes to be more inflamed. So omega-3 salmon oil is important for that. And we can add that as part of our healthy fats. Remember, I started the session with speaking about healthy fats. So omega-3 salmon oil is among the family of healthy fats that we can have in our diet. Then the next one is going to be carotenoid complex. And this is very, very important for our eye health. I'm sure many of us in the years we were growing up and maybe even at school, we were told that we should eat carrots because they help to make us have a good eyesight. And it's because carrots are some of the foods that are rich in carotenoids. Of course, there are other foods that are rich in carotenoids, but Neolife has packaged it for us very well so that we can use our carotenoid complex as a source of good quality carotenoids to help us with protecting our eyes from degeneration that can lead to blurred vision. Also, things that are age-related, like cataracts and so on, carotenoids help us to mitigate against that. So carotenoid, very important for our eye health. And then we have vitamin B complex. The B complex family help also to protect from degenerative diseases, like, as I mentioned, cataracts and the macular degeneration and those ones. Vitamin B also will play an important role in the protection of our eyesight from these degenerative illnesses. And then we have got chelated zinc, which helps in healing of internal wounds. And as I mentioned a few moments before, we may have some damage to blood vessels and tissues within our body, for example, in our eyes. And zinc is going to help the body to heal those internal wounds and thereby protect us from, let's say, fluid accumulation from leakage of blood vessels. Then last here, I want to mention vitamin C, which also helps in maintaining membranes in our bodies. So this is where we normally recommend vitamin C for things like coughing, allergies, and so on, because it helps the body to repair the membranes. And the eyes, of course, have got quite a number of membranes. So vitamin C helps to maintain those membranes in good health. So you may have noticed that quite a number of the products I've mentioned are found in Betagard. So you can also replace the vitamin C and the carotenoids and so on by taking Betagard. On the other hand, we can also use ProVitality, which will give us omega-3 salmon oil as well as carotenoids, treonine, and multi. So with that, we then would want to add some zinc as well as vitamin B and C. So those are the products that we recommend for eye health. And then just a few last points in this part to recommend some of the foods that will be important for our eye health. For example, fish and salmon fish, seafood such as shrimps and crayfish. Eggs are also good. Sweet potatoes, spinach, carrots, kale, and all these good vegetables will be important as part of our diets. And I already mentioned the healthy fats such as coconut, avocado, olive oil. This should be part of our healthy eyes diets. It's good to spend some time in the sun, as I said, not glaring sunlight for long periods, but time in the sun is good, this is especially important for children. And we know that sometimes our children spend too much indoors. One of the benefits of children spending time outside in the sun, maybe during holidays or after school, is that it will prevent the development of short sight. If children spend very long periods either reading or staring at screen and not going outside, one of the things that becomes much more common, and we see this a lot, is short sight, so that children need glasses from a very early age. So spending time in the sun between 1 to 3 hours that the children can play outside, or we can take them for a walk and so on, is good for the health of their developing eyes. Then my usual warning for minimizing or eliminating sugar from our diet, eliminating junk food and factory fats from our diet, because all these contribute to illnesses that will lead to eye problems, as we know from the example of high blood pressure and diabetes. Then Taking breaks, as I've said, this is also an important thing. Then I have a few moments, and I had 1 or 2 questions about eye health. One was what supplements we can recommend for macular degeneration, one of the degenerative eye conditions that comes from the leakage of fluid onto the retina. So here we would recommend the use of carotenoid complex, vitamin C, omega-3 salmon oil, and zinc. So this is, and it would be good to take quite a good dose, a heavy dose of carotenoid complex. We recommend the same for the other question was about cataracts. So someone had asked about cataracts. Again, here we recommend that we protect our eyes, because I think it's not a good idea to wait until the cataracts develop to the degree that we now need to have an operation. But to take care, especially as we get older, to know that some of these conditions will start to creep in. And so for cataracts, we recommend carotenoid complex once again, vitamin B complex, omega-3 salmon oil, and zinc. As I said, because carotenoids and omega-3 salmon oil are found in Pro-Vitality, we can use Pro-Vitality and then add zinc and vitamin B. Then lastly, the other thing I wanted to bring up was long sight. So long sight develops also as part of the aging process. As we reach the ages of 50, 60, and so on, we may find that we struggle to read because our eyes are better able to see things which are at a distance than things which are close to our faces. And for that reason, we need to do those things that we've mentioned about eye health, but in addition to that, to do eye exercises to prevent eye strain, because long sight is associated with the lens in the eye that catches and refracts the light that is coming into our eye becomes stiff and less flexible, so that it is not able to change its shape according to the needs of the eye. And what contributes to this could be that we spend long periods with our eyes focused in one place. So by exercising our eyes, looking far, looking close, looking up, looking down, and to the sides, we are going to give our lens a longer period of being more supple, so that we prolong the period during which our eyesight is good. So I think those are the questions I had that were related to the eyes. And I think I'll conclude at that point, and just to encourage you, because there are many places, many people who may not have the information that we have, and we should give this information, because part of our responsibility as distributors is to educate the people we come across, maybe family members, friends, community, so that they know that there are things they can do to protect their eyes, to ensure that they prolong the good eyesight that we start out with. And by giving this education, not only are we going to be building our businesses, but at the same time, we'll be providing people with useful information, because we know on our continent, we often have difficulties with getting a lot of medical interventions. So prevention is always a very important part of what we need to do, because it would save us situations where we need to go to other countries or other continents in order to get some of these operations that we may need. And so I encourage us that we all go out and make sure that we are always ready to educate people with the information that we collect as Neolife distributors. So I want to conclude there and to wish you all the best in this tail end of the month of September. We still have a little bit of time, and we can press on and see how far we can push to achieve our goals. Thank you very much for the time that you have allowed me to spend with you. And as we always recommend, if you have got a question, you can always send it to my WhatsApp number, and I would be happy to give you any answer that I may have, or to find out some, maybe if I don't know what the answer, then I'm always happy to find out, because as I said, we are all always trying to learn. Thank you very much. Let me hand you over to Pascal now, who is ready to take you through the next section.
Thank you very much, Betty. As you can see, I'm wearing reading glasses. She's taking more of our products. We've been taking them for 25 years. So what I want to discuss with you today, you will notice that this month of September, we've covered two things so far. On the 15th of September, we covered retailing products, that is moving products to customers. Then we covered how to invite and how to show the plan. So inviting and presenting the business. Then last week, we talked about building structure. Building structure is making your business more profitable according to the marketing plan the company has designed. And then the last thing we discussed last week also is the power of your story. Because really, what really sells your business is not the facts. Many people join the business not because of the information you've given them, but the stories they hear about people who are in the business. So last week we talked about the power of your story. And today we want to talk about two things. One is the income producing activities. That is the things you need to be doing to produce income in your business. That means to make your business grow. Then the next thing we want to talk about is the power of consistency, because what really grows your business is being consistent in those income producing activities. So if you will allow me, I want to share the screen with you. Slideshow, current slides. So what are the income producing? What are things that you need to be doing on a daily basis to grow our business? Income producing activities simply means that you are involved in the thing that makes your business grow. They are called the main things. What is the main thing of our business? The main thing of our business is talking to people. Either they are customers, or their distributors, or their prospects who you want to them to join your business as business partners. So income producing activities is actually the core of our business. If you've joined the business, or you are new in the business, or you've been there for a long time, just check your diary on a daily basis. Are you getting involved in income producing activities? And what are those income producing activities? There are activities that either gives you new customers, or gives you show the business to new prospects who are going to become distributors like you. And it's important to balance between talking to your own prospects, talking to your team's member prospects, following up on your prospects, and following up on your customers. Those four areas of income producing activities is what actually generates for you business so that you can go to the next level. So what I have found that if you want your business to grow, you need to have a daily method of operation. What does that mean? It means there's some things that you need to do on a routine basis every day to make your business grow. So income producing activities. Number one, talking to prospects. Two, talking to potential customers. These are prospects are people who are maybe interested in the business. Customers are the ones who have said, actually, I'm not interested in the business, I'm interested in the products. The other group of people you need to be talking to are people in your team. People in your team of a system that the people you've spoken to, you can also follow them up to find out whether they've decided to join the business or not. Remember that the ordinary person says yes after the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, or the seventh time that he's spoken to them about the business. So don't just speak to them once and then leave them off. Speak to them once, then twice, then again, until they've come to a decision, yes, I want to join the business, or no, I'm not interested. So those are the income producing activities. And every day, check yourself. What is it you have done to grow your business? One thing I have found that really helped me to keep track of what I am doing is to have a tool for checking how many people you've spoken to. A simple tool is take a piece of paper or a blank book, write down Monday to Saturday, the calls you make, the presentations you do, the follow-up you've made, the customers you've spoken to. If you have this, you'll actually be able to see how effective you are. And don't do this for 2 days, 3 days. Do this for a whole week, a whole month, 3 months. You'll actually begin to see a pattern emerging from your activity. And you'll be able to know how effective you are. So income producing activities are the things you do to grow your business. Talking to people in simple terms. But what are the events and the tools that helps you in this income producing activities? One is the one-on-one presentations. When you speak to prospects one-to-one, you explain the business. A number of things that are very important in your one-on-one presentation. Number one, asking the right questions. And number two, telling your story. If you combine these two things, a number of things will happen. When you ask questions, prospects begin to open up to you, and you'll be able to know what their need actually is. Remember that we are showing people the business so that we can satisfy what their need is. We are not showing them the business to satisfy our needs. If you want to be successful in the business, make sure that you're addressing the needs of your prospects. The other event that we need to increase our income is Zoom meetings. For example, the ones we have on Mondays at 8 p.m. East African time, or 7 p.m. Southern African time, or 6 p.m. Nigeria time. We have the ones on Fridays, the Kiswahili meetings. So wherever you are, make sure is one prospect distributor who is new to their prospect, and you can bring your business, your leader, to explain the business on your behalf with the proviso that you actually listen. For example, you initiate a call, you call your prospect, and you tell the prospect, look, I've just started the business, but I've got somebody more experienced who I would like you to listen to about what we do. Then you keep quiet. So your upline leader will explain the business to your prospect. They'll probably ask the prospect a number of questions. The idea is for you to listen and learn on what your upline leader is doing. Number 4 is sending videos. We have incredible videos in our business. There's one which is 2 minutes, 38 seconds, done by Neolife. It's a very good introduction to what the business is. It doesn't explain the business at all. What it does, it arouses the curiosity of the prospect. That is how the video that's how it is designed. It is not designed to explain how the business works. The business, showing the business how it works is your responsibility. Either you send them a complete presentation, or you sit with them one-on-one, or you invite them for an in-person meeting. Number 5 is webinars. Webinars are events or presentations done by video conferencing, where an experienced distributor or a company staff member or company leaders and directors explains the business on behalf of the team. Then business opportunity presentations, like the ones we have every Monday, or whatever market you're in, there's always an experienced leader who presents the business to prospects for their team or for a larger group of Neolife distributors. Then magazines, CDs, DVDs, these are the tools that help us to get involved in income producing activities. So take full advantage of these events and tools. But you see, the one thing that is going to really help you to grow your business and become successful is consistency. Consistency is doing what you need to be done on a daily basis, whether you have the feeling of doing it or not. Okay? How do you develop consistency? What enables consistency is discipline. Discipline is scheduling the things you do and doing them whether you feel like doing them or not. And that has to happen daily. What are the specific steps that helps you to become consistent in the thing you do? Number one, you need to have clearly defined goals. What is your goal in the business? What is your goal of the things you want to achieve? What are your dreams? When you have these things at the fore of your mind, then you know why you're doing what you're doing. Two, have specific plans of action. Plan of action is a list of activities that you need to do so that you grow your business. And it involves the income producing activities. Step number three, you need to follow a daily schedule. This is called a daily method of operation. The things that you set up for yourself to do on a daily basis, that you do them to make sure that your business grows. It involves income producing activities. It involves you doing personal development, that is reading good books, listening to CD. It involves physical exercises. It involves speaking with your prospects, or even your downlines, to find out how they're doing and guiding them on the next step they need to make. You know, we are very poor judges of ourselves. And one of the ways to accelerate your business growth is speak to your growing upline leader. Find out who your upline leader is, and either once a month or once every 2 months or every 45 days, ask them a question. Look, can you give me guidance on how I can grow my business to the next level? Most leaders are very willing to show you what to do to get to the next level. So include that in your daily method of operation. 4 is ignore how you feel. You see, sometimes when things are tough, or you've been speaking to a number of prospects and you don't see anything happening, it's very tempting to think that the business is not growing. I am sure none of you has ever seen a tree grow. You only notice that it has grown after 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. That is a law of nature. You actually never see it grow, but you will see the growth. That requires patience. You need to allow for a growing season. So even if you don't see something happening, as long as you have a daily method of operation, that you're doing the basics every day, the business will grow, because the business follows a very simple thing. It's called the law of sowing and reaping. Number 5, do not give pain a voice in your life. Manage it. This is a very interesting concept, because when you face challenges, we experience pain. The pain could be emotional, the pain could be physical, the pain could be mental. But the reason why you don't need to pay attention to your pain could be a signal that something is growing or something is happening that you need to either change or revise. But when I say do not pay attention to your pain, is don't let the pain that you're going through stop you from doing what you should be doing. In fact, I know this may sound strange, but I think pain is a gift. It's a gift for us to know that we're actually growing. As somebody says quite a while ago, that pain is weakness escaping from your being. When you're going through pain, when you're going through disappointment, when you're going through challenges, that is a sign that you're actually growing, because growth always causes pain. So don't give pain a voice. That means don't let pain decide what you're going to do. The last thing is, do the things you dislike every day until they become automatic. This is I think this is a concept that if you think about it, it will really help you become a disciplined person. The reason why most people do not succeed is that we concentrate on doing the things we like. There is no growth there. There is no growth in always doing the things that you like, because you're not overcoming yourself. So do the things that you dislike until they become an automatic process. Those of you who like exercising, you will know that sometimes you don't like to exercise. But the more you exercise, the more it becomes an automatic process that if you don't exercise, you actually feel something is missing. Then you keep exercising. The same with reading, the same with talking to prospects. Do the things that you dislike, and the more you do them, you will find that your business begins to grow. You will start to acquire some discipline, and you'll be able. What creates emotional stability? Emotional stability comes from doing the things that you need to do on a daily and consistent basis. So consistency is enabled by discipline. Discipline is planning the things you do, doing them even when you don't feel like doing them, and then checking what you have done for the day and looking at, could I have done this thing better? And if you keep doing that, you will find that your business actually begins to grow. So with those few ideas that I wanted to share with you, I wanted to share with you the importance of income producing activities, and two, doing these income producing activities consistently. So I would like to hand over back to Paul to close our meeting. I want to thank all of you very much for spending this evening with us. And I hope that what we have shared with you will help you to grow your business to the next level.
Wow, thank you so much, Pascal and Betty, for that session that you have been able to give to each and every one of us. It was quite informative, and it's a good way for us to be able to understand the business and also the products. So we have come to the end of our meeting today. I believe you have been able to get something that can be able to help you to continue to build your business. I'm quite optimistic that you'll be able to continue positioning the business and also the products in the marketplaces where you represent. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to this meeting. As I said earlier, tomorrow is the first day month end, and I'm looking forward to see each and every one of us putting the effort to be able to complete the month on a high note. So I want to wish you all the best as you complete the month and as you continue to share the business. So thank you so much from me and Pascal. Good night, and God bless you. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Thank you, Pascal. Bye-bye.